Bitcoin USD sitting at 16.5, Tron TRX sitting at about 5 cents. New Year's Day 2023. So, in my last video, I was talking about how it's easy for people to get scammed because they have the reference of the internet and great things happening, so they expect the next innovations to take off in the same time frame and to be as exciting. Now, granted, they probably will be as exciting and more, but not necessarily in the same time frame. And most things are going to fail. So, like SBF, like Sam Bankman. So, what do I mean by this? People that tend to make good money early on, regardless of age, tend to think that they're invincible. So, as SBF went on his journeys in business with Alameda and with FTX, I think it's highly likely what happened to him is he became delusional and he felt that he could do no wrong. I mean, the media was picking him up. There was big press everywhere. He was on every single station. CNBC, one of the ultimates of finance. So that, along with his lifestyle, along with probably having a lot of yes men and yes women next to him, along with him attracting interesting, wealthy people, Kevin O'Leary being one of them, I think this all went to his head. And this happens a lot with people when they have success early on. So they tend to think they can do anything and be successful, sometimes legal, sometimes illegal, not exclusive to Sam Bankman, but in general. And because of this success, you tend to do things that maybe you would think twice about doing. Maybe some you would have done anyway, but a good portion are done because you're basically success drunk. You think that, you can do no wrong. So I think what ended up happening is because he got his 15 minutes in fame, this 15 minutes he wanted to extend into 15 years. So he got ahead of himself. And this can happen to investors also. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because really for you, and when I talk to you, I talk to myself, because even when you know what to do, you need to be sure that you don't get carried away. And what happens to investors a lot of the time, they do well with a crypto, they do well with stocks, maybe they do well with an NFT, maybe all of these things. Or not all of these things, but overall they do well and they're up money. They're not down. So they start to think they're special, they're great. Maybe they take some shortcuts. Maybe they don't do things the way that they did them in getting into profitability. Maybe they try to do new things thinking they can do even better. All this comes with the delusion of success. And something that I think is very important to remember is to maximize, do things correctly when you are having success. This includes saving your money. This includes not exhibiting risky behavior, not thinking that you're, better than you are, not that you should not have confidence in yourself, but you cannot allow delusion to take over. And really the best way to do this is to have your mindset be what it was when you first got started, and not have your mindset be that different in terms of, how you carry yourself, the risks you do or don't take, the preparation that you do, your daily routines, the way that you evaluate what you're going to do with a particular stock or crypto. You should have a process that you follow, and you shouldn't go based on emotion, based on feeling good, because a lot of the time this delusional behavior, as I call it, that incurs a lot of losses, that incurs a lot of scenarios, ends up occurring because of that delusion being in charge. So there's a difference between having confidence, and there's a difference between basically letting yourself, be on the moon in terms of the way that you're behaving. So another thing is, crypto is really based in a lot of situations where it's not necessarily something that logic really takes hold, because there's so much dream of innovation and jumping on that wave and being able to be one of the first to ride that wave, or being one of the first to be able to capitalize on it, or perhaps come up with another idea because you've made this money now with this crypto, and you think that you have another idea that you can roll over into this. And speed is good in business, but also speed can be bad. There's different types of speed. And most businesses, most ideas, most concepts, and I know I'm getting away from the investment part, but it ties in a way. You don't need money for most businesses. And if you do, you need very, very little, especially if you have an understanding of sales and marketing. And if you want to discover opportunities on the internet, comment down below. Let me know that you are interested. Hit the About section. Send me an email. Our About section in our YouTube has our business inquiry email in there. And if you'd like to learn about how you can generate revenues and the different ways you can do it on the internet, not crypto related, send me an email. And if you're serious, my staff will read it and then obviously pass it on to myself. So, like I was saying, it's important to always remember, just because things are going well, and if things are going well easily, it doesn't mean that everything you touch is going to turn to gold. So don't get SPF syndrome. I believe that may be part of what happened to him. I think that he began to think that he is invincible and that he can do absolutely no wrong. And I'm not saying that you should stifle anything that you have in mind, or that you shouldn't feel good when you do well. What I'm saying is you need to be able to take a step back and do an overview of where you are, instead of being immersed in the actual process of what's going on. And the same thing happens in business, right? When someone's trying to build a business, there's working in your business and working on your business. When you're working in your business, you're going through certain tasks and functions that are similar to what an employee would do. And it's okay if you're doing that maybe in the beginning stages, or at times where things are difficult and you need to figure things out, and you've taken a step back and done an overview and then decided what task or tasks you need to perform inside to solve. But you need that talent, regardless of what you're doing, whether it's business, investing, crypto, to even in your personal life, be able to step out and not be working in the situation. Because if you can step out of it and take a macro look at everything and what leads to things, not the micro, the day-to-day little movements that lead to the success. If you can step out, then you have a much better chance of being able to see the ball clearly. And that's another thing I think that happened with SPF, is that he basically ended up not being able to step out and got punch drunk on power.